Hello everyone. How are you doing? Hope you all are doing okay. Hope your families are doing okay. I hope you guys are indeed checking up on your families out there in the countryside, especially after the hurricane, because many people went down with this hurricane, and any help and assistance that you can give, it would be grateful. Many of you come from communities and are living in Kingston now, and you do have your families out there in the countryside. Do whatever you can do to help them. So guys, you remember the Westmoreland twins, brothers and sisters that were a part of the King Valley gang? However, the sister was the one that was with the gang leader for the Kingsman gang, because her brother was with her because he became her new, way to call it, purse, that everywhere she is, he is with her, and everything that she does is involved with. When it came down to it, as you know, there are no loyalties among criminals. When they took her out, they also took out her brother, and they did a viral video that was circulating the internet for a while. However, they were buried in a shallow grave, and until this day is yet to be found. Now, hear what happened now. That same gang leader, which is her man, he is the leader of the Westmoreland-based King Valley gang, Derval Williams, aka Lukey, and his sidekick, Kristen Grant, were on Friday found guilty of conspiring via cellular phones to take out a Crown witness while behind bars at Horizon Adult Correctional Center in 2020. The same year, they were left off on anti-gang charges. Williams and Grant were among 3 former King Valley gang accused who had remained behind bars in relation to other crimes after being freed by Chief Justice Brian Sykes in July 2020 when the gang trial collapsed. But according to evidence led by the Crown, a mere month before the Chief Justice ruling, June 2020 to be specific, correctional officers during searches of the cells occupied by Williams and Grant discovered cellular phones which the men claimed belonged to them. The phone claimed by Williams was discovered in the ventilation area at the back of the cell, while the handset claimed by Grant was found in the groove beneath a 5-gallon water bottle held in place by a bar of soap. The men were charged under a 4-count indictment, with 1 count each of conspiring to take out and concealment of a prohibited article, which is the 2 cell phones. The thing is, these men are behind bars, sending out hits and hurting people on the outside, and I'm always trying to figure out, how do these guys get these phones in the system? Isn't there a situation they could put in place where they block cell phones from being able to be active for prisoners? However, a digital forensic expert brought by the prosecution in April when the case began outlined evidence to prove that the confiscated phones truly belonged to the men. In one of several voice notes played into the records of the tribunal, a voice identified by 2 Crown witnesses are belonging to Williams was heard saying he had received intelligence that a particular top-flight female investigator had visited the targeted witness on 3 occasions, and that she was supposedly trying to shore up evidence against them after losing the first case. However, on Friday, Supreme Court Judge Justice Caroline Ty Powell, in her summation and verdict, set aside arguments by the defense that the voice notes were disjointed and not sequential, and were not sufficient to prove that the men conspired to take out the witness or anyone else for that matter. I found the evidence of the correctional officer to be credible. The court finds that the content of the phone support the finding that it belongs to Williams, Justice Ty Powell said. She also said the court accepted the evidence that there was communication between Williams and Grant on their respective phones by way of text messages and WhatsApp voice notes. She said while aspects of the evidence suggested that other inmates also used the phones. The significant use of the handset were by the two men. She said the phone owned by Grant had WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and email account in his name as his alias Bobby. In ruling on count 1 of the indictment, which jointly charged the men with conspiring to take out the Westmoreland woman, Justice Ty Powell said she accepted as credible the voice identification evidence given by a deputy superintendent of police who had encountered both men on several occasions, and the crown witness they had marked for death who testified that she has known Grant all his life. Justice Ty Powell said the court, in considering the voice note which were not in standard English and which contain unique Jamaican terminologies, was of the opinion that they are statements made to infer the takeout of someone. It is clear to the court that diabolical statements are contained in the voice notes. It is clear there was communication between Derval Williams and Kristen Grant. In one of the 10 voice notes with the assassination plan which were played into the records of the court, Grant was heard saying if Williams wanted to dirt, slang for takeout, the witness, he should make me know where you want. Anything you pre, just let me know so I can organize the thing, yo. How the thing, elements of surprise. Several notes later, a voice identified by prosecution witness as belonging to Williams is heard saying, me I got dirt her, man. Me I got dirt her for real, man. Me I got do it, me I got do it. Grant was then heard spurring Williams on by saying, me wouldn't mind we use one stone to take out two birds. Would I just want you do so and just slap 1, 2, 3 one time and left the whole place weeping and mourning. Said Justice Ty Powell, it is my opinion that Kristen Grant is agreeing with Derval Williams. It is clear that Grant understood what Williams is talking about. In our terms, he understood the assignment. It is significant that he refers to we. This suggests they were acting together. He is suggesting that there must be loss, there must be death. He is suggesting that action must be taken quick and fast as he emphasizes that the situation is serious and needs to be dealt with openly, said the judge. According to the evidence, Grant had gone as far as to tell Williams that he would find out the work schedule of the witness in order to organize her death, as the COVID-19 pandemic had had it so that everybody they had them yard. This is where the intention was. This is where Derval Williams indicates his intention to be party to the takeout, the death of the individuals, the judge stated. In noting the evidence of the witness who had mentioned her sister and her mother by name, Justice Ty Powell said, mention by the men of those same names was an indication that they intended to take out not only the witness but her family members as well, given the reference by Grant to killing 3 birds with 1 stone and leaving the place weeping and mourning. A interference from the words sister ago left is that something needs to be done to eliminate the crown witness, and there is an express concern about her sister remaining behind, added the judge. So what the judge is saying, the fact that they were concerned about the sister, they're thinking that maybe should be a threat, so the intent was to just take out everybody. Grant also in another voice note was heard saying, yeah dog, remember them woman they terrible, a whole heap of people them woman they turn down. Me nah make them something catch me. Just a clean up. When you clean up something, you clean up and done. According to the judge, he is saying there must be no room for retaliation from anyone. It is clear from these last voice notes that Kristen Grant is saying not only crown witness should be eliminated, but others as well. She said also it was very clear that the men were confident about their ability to remain in contact with the outside world despite being behind bars. The court finds as a fact that a forensic examination of the cell phones reveals various voice notes. These were the voices of the accused. That these voice notes reveal that there were discussions between Derval Williams and Kristen Grant to do an illegal act. I find that the Crown has proved beyond reasonable doubt that the accused persons conspired with each other and did indeed propose to take out the Crown witness. I therefore enter a verdict of guilty on counts 1, 3, and 4 of the indictment, Justice Ty Powell rule. On Friday, Williams and Grant, who sat side by side in the prison dock, listened impressionlessly, at one point adopting identical poses by sitting forward attentively, their forearms braced on their legs. The men gave no reaction to the guilty verdict, but for an almost imperceptible smile that tugged at the lips of Williams, that he was cuffed and led from the dock. The sentence for the men was set for the next court term, which begins in September. A social inquiry report and antecedent report were ordered on both men. Just bear in mind that this same Kings Valley Don, he was the leader of the gang. Remember his girlfriend, Kenisha Moody? She was also charged for being involved in the gang, as she was found with rounds of ammunition in her purse at the time. And remember, she was set free. And through this same gang, her life was taken. It was her, remember the Moody siblings, her and her brother were taken out. And they all were involved in scamming, hit jobs, extortion. And even while her man was in prison, she was in charge of being the one that collected the money and doing all sort of stuff. And you see what happened? When money not run right, eventually she was taken out alleged by the same gang. You see it? You sleep with dog, you rise with flea. The sad thing about it is that she took her brother also, because he so looked up to her and so loved her that anything she was involved in, he was a part of it, because she just draw him into it. Yeah, at the end of the day, the two of them went down in a shallow grave, and despite the pleas of their mother, their bodies is still not found. Now finally, this gang leader is going to get exactly what he deserves. Let's see, even after sentencing, if they are still going to let these people get access to phones just the same. I think the system, the prison system, really need a total revamp, putting things in place where the prisons are, so that the mobile phones cannot work at all. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform. Love you guys. Bye for now.